I'm Ellory Smith, and you're listening to Bothering the Band.
Two-time guest back on the pod, comedian, Emmy nominated Ellory Smith. Ellory, we're so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Yeah, thanks for carving out time to do this. You were on our live show in LA, and we just love you. And we're like, we gotta fucking have her back and just give her the time that she deserves.
I appreciate that. That was a fun show.
It was
I love that venue. It was.
That's a great venue. Are you still doing shows there?
Yeah, once in a while. I used to have a monthly there. It's really close to my house, but I'm sure you guys experienced parking kind of sucks in that area. So I stopped doing my monthly there just because I kind of got sick. I done it for 6 years, and I kind of wanted a break. And convincing people to come twice was hard because of the parking situation.
Yeah, I get that. I did a show at Bar 13 in New York for a long time, and while you don't have to park, it is a Monday night show in Union Square. It's not many people are coming back.
Yeah. I've also experienced the 10 p.m. slot on a weekday in New York. People do have jobs out there.
Yeah, and the people that do come are drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. All right, first icebreaker question. Who is your favorite canceled comedian?
My favorite canceled comedian. Who's the guy that lied about being in 9/11? Steve Renazizi.
Yeah. Steve, yeah.
Yeah, I love him.
Canceled, or he's like
one of the only canceled comedians that doesn't work. Like, you don't see him anywhere. And I don't think that's fair. I think if everybody else gets to come back, he should get to come back.
Yeah, he's definitely like popping up in like Skankfest and like shit like that.
I hope so. I really hope so. I feel like he deserves that.
Of all the reasons to be canceled, I think it sounds bad to say, joking about 9/11 is the softest.
Oh, I don't think he was joking. He was genuinely telling people that he had survived 9/11, which admittedly is bad and you shouldn't do it. But wasn't there was also like some news reporter who lied about being in a military helicopter crash, and he still works all the time. Yeah.
Wasn't it Brian Williams?
Yeah, it was. I think it was Brian Williams, right? It was somebody really famous.
I think he, though, did some touchy-feely stuff, though, too.
Oh, no. I didn't hear
think
about
that was
Brian
like
Williams?
Icing. Yeah, I don't know. I could be
was the
mixing him
icing.
up with the other white guy, Matt. What's his
Matt
nose?
From the Today Show. He had
Matt
he had
Lauer.
like a remote lock button on his desk for his office door.
Oh, man.
To trap people inside.
So creep. So it's like, that's next level creep.
It's very like villainy, like Bond villainy.
I just like that he called a locksmith and was like, can you install this?
Yeah. I hadn't even thought about that. I guess I was thinking that maybe he would like just figure it out himself, but you're probably right. He probably had some poor maintenance guy in the building. Like, that's really... Oh my God.
Okay, that was a good answer. I'm happy with that answer. Okay, so you talked about Steve Renazizi lying about 9/11. What's the last lie you told? One you care to disclose.
I low-key am a white liar, where I'm like, if there's something that is like very low stakes, like I'm thinking particularly like work stuff, where I'm like, maybe I'm running late or something, and I'm like, oh, I'm hitting terrible traffic.
So you're normal.
Yeah, I'm normal. Those are lies that I feel like are deployed frequently enough that I should probably cut it out. But also I'm like, it doesn't matter, and it's easier than being like, hey, I don't care about this job and I woke up late.
Yeah. When I lived in New York, if you called me and you were like, where are you? And I was like, I'm on the train. I haven't even showered yet. Also, the cell phones don't work on the train, so that should be your first,
Well, some of them do now. They put in I don't know
They
what they
put in
put
cell
in. They
phone.
put in cell phone service. Yeah. I have
They
a
put in
friend that
payphones.
in New York specifically, yeah, they put in payphones so that you could call. I have a friend in New York that turned her location off because she's like, people kept knowing that I wasn't where I said I was.
Yep.
So she'd be like, I'm on my way. And we would check her location and be like, no, you're not.
Do most people leave their location on? Because I don't. I've never
No.
had mine on.
I think certain people share it with other certain people. Like I share it with some of my friends who are a little more wild. So I can like be like, if I ever don't hear from them for a stretch of time, I'll check where in the world they are.
Okay, that's fair.
That's nice.
My
That's,
mom has mine, but she's the only one.
That's nice. My mom has mine too because I drove across the country a few times alone.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what I was doing. And my mom's like, I need to know where you were. And I was like, I can't just send you a text that says, I'm in Ohio.
No, I think that's I'm pro location for that reason because if for any reason you lose service or like God forbid something happen, but then it's like, would my mom even know how to check my location? I don't know.
I know.
I wouldn't know how to do it.
But maybe a detective would.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, someone smarter than myself. Here, do this. We have a mutual friend, Eric Schmidt.
Yeah.
He is one of my best friends. Can you tell me? I have many stories, but can you tell me an Eric story?
I love Eric. I've done his podcast a bunch. He came to my show last time I was in New York. I actually know Eric through my friend BJ, who I met when I worked at the like NPR affiliate in New York. So it's funny because Eric is like a friend of a friend, but he's about to come out here, and I'm going to try to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really the only crazy story. Nothing really wild. I always have a really fun time on his podcast. I like the podcast a lot.
Yeah, he's fun. Greg's a bud. We've been on his pod a few times. I texted him last night telling him you were going to be on the show, and then I'm going to be in New York in like a week. So I was like, let's go do something fun. He'll like that he got a shout out.
Shout out, Eric.
on this pod.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah. What up, dude? Go take your prescriptions. Okay. Do you think Hawaiian shirts only belong at the beach?
I don't think that they belong at the beach.
Not at all.
Not at all. Yeah, not really. I feel like they belong at like graduations and barbecues. I'm not even joking. I feel like that's right.
Barbecues, yes, but graduations?
Yeah. I feel like they're like
Is it
celebration
like your
t-shirts.
uncle?
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking like my dad, like anytime he only owned like 2 collared shirts and they were both Hawaiian shirts, and so he wore those like at every school event. So maybe that's why I'm thinking that, but I do feel like it's like a celebration shirt kind of deal.
Man, you're nailing it right now. Do you own any Hawaiian shirts?
I do. I own my dad passed away a while ago. I have his Hawaiian shirts, and I really want to be able to work them into my outfits, and I haven't cracked the code yet.
Yeah.
They're tough to pull off.
Even if rolling up sleeves, tuck in, anything like that?
That's so Trader Joe's manager coded that I feel like it's the rolled sleeves tucked into like a khaki.
Then you have to wear like Tiva sandals with socks too.
Yeah.
And you have to have like a hobby knife or something, like a retractable razor on your belt loop.
Yeah. I worked at Trader Joe's for a while, so I have a little PTSD. I still have my box cutter.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word I was looking for, box cutter. Abby, do you have any Hawaiian
shirts? No.
Here's a fun fact that's just hitting me right now. I don't think I've ever owned a Hawaiian shirt.
I don't think
I feel like that's not crazy. Either. Although now you live in Florida, so maybe it is crazy.
Yeah, maybe I should start wearing like jorts and Hawaiian shirts.
I feel like that's a real Florida dad move, is like to get a. Plus, like the Hawaiian shirts I have like
Florida dad.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the Hawaiian shirts now are like post irony.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta write that down. That's
the Hawaiian shirt I have has like old. My dad was a mechanic. It has like old muscle cars on it.
Oh,
so you can
cool.
find like Hawaiian shirts that align with your interests.
So like poetry and pop culture.
Yeah. Oh my God. I bet you $100 that there is a Funko Pop Hawaiian shirt. There
I'm not
has to
really a
be.
Funko. Do you have any Funko Pop figurines?
No.
I
No.
do.
No.
I feel like I've been gifted some and they've lost, but I do live near the Funko Pop store, and so I interact with the fandom more than most people probably. They love a line.
I have two. I have two.
Oh, what are they?
Are yours?
They are Vin Diesel and Paul Walker from
That's
the
so
Fast
sick.
movies.
You
I
need
love
like
that.
a My Chemical Romance one too.
Oh, I would love that. Absolutely, I do.
Do they have the whole Fast family? Like, could I get a Ludacris Funko
Oh, I don't know. They were gifted to me,
or like a Reuben
and I
one?
never looked into it.
You 100% can get a Ludacris one. Is it Fast and Furious themed? I don't
See, but
know.
that's what I want. I'm a big Fast
Yeah,
head.
no. You're
Are you really? I am too.
Dude, they're so
Um,
good. I've watched them
they're
all in a row a
so-
few times.
I watched them. So I have them all, and I watch them in watch order, not chronological order.
Can you tell me
So
what
fun.
watch order is? Are you skipping
So it's
Tokyo Drift and going to that at the end?
you're just moving it basically. So
That's
it's like
exactly
1, 2,
what I do.
4, 5, 3, 6, I think, or it might be 4, 5, 6, 3, 7.
Yes.
But yes, that's what I do also. And I can't reach them from here, but I own them all on DVD. It was given to me the same year as the Funko Pops. They're all on DVD, and the case is like a tire, and you have to like open the tire to get the DVDs out.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
I love this is gonna segue into my next question. I love this for you guys. I'm happy.
Thank you. I'm
I'm
going to
hap-
take that as hashtag positive pine needles.
Indeed. I like when you meet other fast heads, as Ellery so eloquently put it.
Absolutely. I once gave a speech to my best friend. I was her maid of honor, and my wedding speech was like 90% fast quotes because it's all about loving and family and blah, blah, blah. And like
Did
4
she
people
know?
in the room picked. She did because she's the one that gave me all the things.
That
Like
is
we've
so
seen
funny.
the last like 4 movies together in the theaters and stuff. And so my speech was like 90% quotes, and like 4 people in the room picked up on it, and she's bawling. And then I said something about family, and her husband at the moment, well, just married, and he just like, you could see the light bulb, and he just goes, of course. Because he makes fun of us so much.
Oh, we're having fun right now.
Oh, I love these movies so
That's
much.
a really good idea. That'd be a good idea to like shoehorn that into just any speech and see who notices.
See who
Mhm.
figures it out.
I-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some great lines in those movies.
There's also
Just saying.
truly 18 hours of content to choose from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which one do they go to space?
It's one of the later
that was
ones.
in the last one.
Yeah.
That was in the first. Was
It's
that-
like
wait, 'cause
7
we're
or
on-
8. We're on 10.
Yeah, it's 7. Yeah, which really disappointing. Not my joke. I saw this somewhere else, but I am disappointed as they are that they did not call it Fast 10. Your seatbelts.
I hadn't heard
Not
that.
my
I
joke.
hadn't heard that yet. Here's how
It's
this is the
good.
last thing I'll say about Fast and the Furious, because it's not a Fast and the Furious podcast, but if you did that, I would love to be a guest. I don't like that they moved to heists, and I think that they should have like explored more motorized vehicles. Like I think from cars they should have gone to maybe like bikes and then boats
Yep.
and expanded out
Yes, I
that
love
way.
this.
Yeah. And I also didn't
I
like
love
how
this.
Ludacris's character is like a bookie, and then with no backstory he becomes a tech whiz. And I'm like, I kind of like that he
does.
was a bookie, and I wanted him to keep doing that, but I wanted his
With this-
gambling is how they funded the family.
I loved that. I loved him in that role. With
Yeah,
his
that's my
fro
favorite
and
one with
just
him. And then they
running
totally
all the races.
yes, and then they ditch that character, and they're like, actually, you're a computer guy.
Yep.
Is that Too Fast, Too Furious?
That's the second one. Yeah, they go to Miami.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one that he starts in? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like how they start his character, and then they
Mhm.
totally
Yeah.
change it for number 3 and the rest of them.
Well, now they're all just superheroes and can do
Yeah.
everything.
Now they're
So,
superhero movies, and I want them to
And no
be
one really
more-
dies.
No one ever dies,
yeah.
except for Paul Walker, who is not dead in the series and is just missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. The same with like what's her toes?
What's her toes?
Princess Leia.
Oh.
Princess Leia gets sucked out of in like the Force Awakens or one of the newer Star Wars gets sucked out of like a hole in one of the spaceships, and you're like, oh, this is how they kill her off because she just passed away, and then she's just there, and it's like they do like CGI face, and and you're like, oh, you had the out, you didn't need to do this. So,
Oh, yeah.
anyways, welcome back to our Fast and Furious podcast.
Sorry.
Oh, this is fun. How do you feel about the term "I love that for you"?
I think that it is the new "bless your heart." You know, like how
Absolutely.
yeah, how Southern people when they want to say like "fuck you,"
Yes, it's condescending, right?
it's condescending. Yeah, I love that for you.
That's why. Yeah, I love that for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but I love that for you.
Yeah, I'm a copywriter by day, and in the staff and stuff like that, people will say that, and I'm like, it just sounds like you're talking down to me.
Yeah, it is.
And I agree, but I have several friends that say it in a sincere manner.
I do know people who use it genuinely, but I think that like actual kerning of it, like the order of the words, makes it rude.
Absolutely. I just want to go back to Funkos for like one moment because I can't find any that are wearing Hawaiian shirts, but I can find them from Hawaii 5-0.
Well, they should be in Hawaiian shirts.
But they're
can
wearing
you
plaid.
find Hawaiian shirts with Funko Pop figures on it? I think that's what she was
Yeah,
saying.
I was
God,
saying
yeah.
like a
I
button-up
should
shirt that
wear
you could wear in real life
Oh,
that has different
to
Funko
look cool.
Pops.
got
in-
it.
I don't
you
know that.
to look
I
like
don't
the
think it would
coolest
look
version
cool.
of myself.
Yeah, I don't think that would help. I don't want to lead anybody astray.
You heard it here, folks. If you want to grab Ellery's
Attention.
for,
I'm just
Funko.
pointing and laughing.
catch her eye with a Funko Pop Hawaiian shirt. That's our sponsor.
That would be a huge sponsor.
Right? Are you find anything? Or are we waiting?
No, carry on. I'm
Okay.
still looking.
All right, cool. Elliott Smith, The Smiths, or Will Smith?
Elliott Smith. Although I like the Smiths too, but Elliott Smith is one obviously I've gotten a lot because of my name and his name.
Yeah.
And Good Will Hunting, of course. Plus, like, sort of ultimate death story. Nobody's really doing it like that anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Stabbed himself in the heart in the bathroom. Kind of legendary.
Wasn't it at like the Roost in LA or something like that?
Is that true?
I think so.
No way.
I think-
No.
I
I've had
think
my
it-
birthday party there.
That's like
Is that true? We're going to look that
I
up.
don't even.
I did.
Please.
He was at home.
Oh, okay.
He was at home.
That would have
Okay.
like blown my mind. Yeah,
But
just
it
good.
only took 2.
Really good aim. What a way to go. I mean, you really have to mean it.
You do. You mentioned your name, and I have a question. Did you always like your name, or did you go through a period of like normal adolescence where you're like you didn't like the uniqueness of it?
Yeah, I would say like the first 15 years at least, I really did not like my name. And I went through phases of making my mom call me like Jessica or like Maya, like regular names, which was so fucking rude because she picked my name. But I really did. I hated it and I resented it for a long time.
I will say my opinion doesn't matter. I love it. I think it's awesome.
Thank you. I like it now.
So you've grown to love it.
I've I've grown to like it. I think sometimes I'm like the SEO is a little too strong. Like there's not a ton of us, but now I feel like I very much feel like an Ellery, and I don't know what else I would be called that would fit me quite as well.
Do you go by anything else, like L or
Never,
anything like that?
never.
Never.
L really does not feel like me.
No. Lori.
Lori also doesn't
Yeah.
feel like me either. No, it's also not
No.
really long enough to nickname, is I think what I've never had a nickname from anybody.
We'll give you one.
Okay. Yeah.
I Googled writing these questions. I Googled to see if there was any musicians with the name Ellery. Have you ever found anyone with your same name?
I'm named after somebody, but not my same name. An author, Ellery Queen.
Oh, I didn't find that.
Which is actually a pen name. Yeah, it's spelled a little differently.
Okay. I found Alfred John Ellery, a musician, who played the flute for the James Bond films.
Wait, that's low-key kind of famous.
That's kind of cool,
That's
man.
kind of famous. Wow. That's sick.
So feel free to...
Oh, he also played the flute on a Beatles song.
Which song? Do we know?
The Fool on the Hill.
Oh, that has a heavy flute solo. Or like the theme is like do 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 do, you know?
Yeah. I'm so
That's a
happy
good
you know
song.
it. That's great.
It's do you remember
you're
Dinner for
connected, dude.
Schmucks?
Yeah. Yes.
That was the theme song. Or like the theme in the movie. Yeah. Which is not how I know it, but that's why.
That's the first time that film has ever come up on the pod.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think maybe 10 people saw it.
So new nickname, Alfred. Because that's Alfred John.
That's cool. I'm going Batman mode.
Yeah. What music are you currently into?
I'm a real like oldies folk person. Like famously,
Ooh, nice.
I'm not really allowed on the aux cord with anybody in my life. I'm kind of banned from DJing. One time I was on a party bus and I plugged my phone in and people booed.
Do you remember what song it was?
I have no idea, but I can read through what I'm listening to these days. Let's see.
Yeah, hit us with some.
I'm also famously really scared of My Year Wrapped because it's so embarrassing. I am a big Jim Croce fan, big Paul Simon fan. I've loved Labi Siffre. He does like My Song and Canic Chase, and he got popular this year because his music was in The Holdovers.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a Black artist from the 70s. I low-key like Peter, Paul, and Mary. That's kind of embarrassing. Big Sam Cooke fan, big Hank Williams fan. I like Patty Griffin. I like John Prine a lot. I love Townes Van Zandt. He's kind of my guy. Yeah. That's sort of I like Judy Sill, who's like an old school folk artist.
That's awesome. Way to go. I'm like impressed. I'm impressed, but I'm also doing homework. I'm like, I know what I'm listening to.
Oh my God, are you? I have some recommendations.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like
please, yeah.
Chet Atkins as well, guitar player.
Yeah. You're definitely, I feel like I went through that phase in like 2008. My old school folk phase. It's like when all the folk, like the new neo folk was popping off in Brooklyn. I was like, I'm listening to Vashti Bunyan records.
Yes.
Like shit like that.
I think I liked new folk in like middle school, and then I found like sort of the birthplace of folk, like, and I realized, all that stuff is really derivative. And I also like, like rock music. I had a big ska phase, big punk phase, but now I feel like I'm kind of old and like into.
Let's explore this, because I do have a question on here. Have you ever been to a Warped Tour?
I've never been to a Warped Tour.
Oh man, Abby is currently on an online queue right
Oh,
now,
to
trying
get
to get because
tickets?
Warped Tour is coming back next year.
Did you guys want to go to When We Were Young? That feels like that same wheelhouse.
I did the first year because it would be like fun to be like, oh, look. But then this year they spelled all the band's names wrong.
Yeah,
Really?
on a on a shirt, one of the shirts it misspelled some name, and that some of the bands like remade shirts and did it on purpose. Is that fun?
What was Newfound Glory, right?
New and
New
glory.
and Glory.
Do you think they had an AI do it? That's crazy.
Maybe.
Probably.
That's a pretty crazy mistake.
We love ska. We grew up on ska. We've been actually next week. We're interviewing a friend of ours who has a ska book and podcast. His name is Aaron Carnes. He has a great book. What's the name of the book? Now I have it right here. In Defense of Ska.
Oh, I will so read that. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, he's coming back on to promote the second edition he's releasing. Actually, like tomorrow, I think. Fuck. It's very cool. Check him out. He's the best. Well, I mean, you should go on his pod. Talk ska. What's your favorite ska?
I mean, I like really horn heavy music. I think it's like very fun. It's like kind of dancey. I also really like strange sounds. Does that make sense? Like
Absolutely.
My favorite band for the last few years has been Kneecap, who's like an Irish language rap band. And they make like really cool, like, don't laugh at that.
I'm not. I'm it's not a laugh. It's a joyful, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Not many people know this band.
It's
I'm excited.
They're really cool. They're getting very popular now, which is funny because I've seen them live like 5 times and I literally had free tickets, couldn't give them away. But they make cool, like, loud political music, and that's kind of also what I like about ska music is it's like it just kind of like it gets right in here, right between the eyes.
It sounds really fun and dancey, and then you listen to lyrics, and it's like fuck Margaret Thatcher and shit like that.
Yeah, that's exactly, dude. That is exactly. And here's the other thing is like what I like about folk music is that there's a lot of political music from the 60s and 70s. We don't really do that anymore, except for like punk and ska and a little rap.
I said this to somebody recently, and they were like, "What?" And I was like, it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
Old reggae too. I mean,
yeah.
You're grooving with a red stripe, but if you listen to the lyrics, it's like all political. Damn the man.
And you could argue that's where ska gets it from, though, because their roots.
I think that's one of the heavy influences of ska. And that's the other thing I like about ska is it pulls from so many different genres of music, and it makes an entirely new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go to a ska show together next time?
I would love that. I don't do, just so you know, I don't go to pits because I hate getting bumped around.
Too old for that. Too old for that.
I'm going to be 42 on Saturday. There's no
way. God. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've never had good enough health insurance to get in a pit.
I would have when I was a kid because it's like you just smoke weed when you break your ankle and you're like, it's fine.
Yeah, but shit does not heal like that anymore.
Yeah, no. Now I sneeze and I can't walk right for.
I literally threw out my back sneezing last week. I sneezed and I twisted, and then it was just downhill from there.
Yep.
I mean, every month I'm like hurting my neck, drying my hair after the shower. I'm like, this isn't fun. I need to stretch before like I dry my hair.
I'm trying to do a morning stretch routine, but it's been very hard to get into. But that's my goal for this year is I'm going to try to stretch every day and hope that it helps.
You should. You know what I do? Here, steal this. I just do it like a cat. So I'm not doing like yoga poses and shit like that. I just like lay flat and like whatever happens, when you like it takes over the stretch and then you go.
Okay. Back. I like that.
Right when I wake up.
Yeah.
It's real fun.
Okay.
It's satisfying.
That seems very satisfying.
Oh, this is a fucking great episode. I'm loving it. Okay. Do you decorate for holidays?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
No.
I just don't have the bandwidth, I guess. Or maybe I have the bandwidth, but I just don't. I also don't I don't love like plastic consumerism culture unless they're like trinkets that I really want. So for holidays, I'm sort of like, whatever. But I would like at some point in my life to have a Christmas tree again. I haven't had a Christmas tree since I was a kid. And that was always a fun memory for me, was like decorating. And also our Christmas tree like always looked like kind of shit, which I love in memory, where it's like you really just sort of stick it somewhere and then that's what it looks like. I feel like now in LA, when I'm a nanny for my day job, and so I go to a bunch of people's houses and they always have like really like aesthetic put together Christmas trees. And I hate that.
Designer trees.
Yeah, trees that have been like
They're
designed
not
by
even
somebody.
doing it.
And they're not even doing it. Somebody's coming over. But I don't like the way that looks. It's like so fake. Whereas like what I loved about our Christmas trees growing up was it really looked, it was a mess. It was like was no cohesion, every color. The ugliest ornaments in the world.
My mom like just handing us things and we're basically like pitching them at the tree. This looks good.
Yeah,
It's
that's
all
how it
your
should
height
be.
too, like
Yeah.
kid height.
And there's nothing in the
There's
back.
nothing on the top and there's nothing on the back.
That's what my mom would do. So that was my mom's job. Like
Was to
after
fill
we
in the
decorated,
holes.
she would like move to like move some things, you know. And it didn't look designed by any means, but she's like, "Yeah, you guys are all still only 3 feet tall."
Oh,
Okay.
see, I love that. That's so
There's
beautiful.
something poetic.
There's something very. I mean,
And
that's
they had like the bubble lights.
Yeah, we had the string lights in white and then in like the multicolor. So it'd be like red, green, whatever.
I love it. Chaotic Christmas Tree is the name of the ska band.
Oh, that's a good,
We only
good
play
ska band name.
Christmas music, but we changed the lyrics to be political. There you go.
Wow.
Okay, you mentioned light bulbs just now. We have a light bulb question. In where you live right now, or if you walked into any room and one light was like soft and one light was like yellow, would that annoy you? Would you be conscious of that?
Over time, I would be. Not immediately, but like I'm not a big overhead light person, so I have a lot of lamps. And there is one lamp where I've switched out the bulbs to be like a really warm bulb, and I use it all the time. But yeah, I'm not a big overhead light person.
I'm not either. But when this question first came up, it wasn't 2 different lights in the room. It's one fixture. So what if you had one fixture, right, that has 2 or 3 light bulbs, but they're not the same?
They're not the same color. Yeah, that would annoy me.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't get around to fixing it for like a year, but I would eventually go fix it.
Yeah.
But like if I have one that's on one side of the room that's like a softer than a light on the other side of the room, that won't bother me as much. But if it's in one fixture, that's going to kill me.
Interesting. I think no matter what, I would end up changing
if it was a chandelier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one
chandelier with like different colors is what you're saying.
Yeah, like that with like a few different.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to be the same.
I wouldn't give 2 shits about it. I
Really?
would leave it until they all busted, and then I would change it, and they'd probably still be different. Don't care.
Interesting. Well, here's the other thing is I have done that in my house a few times, and every time I go to Home Depot, I come back with a different fucking color, and it's impossible to tell what color it is till you screw it in and turn the light on. So in the one lamp where I changed the bulbs, it took me, not kidding, 4 trips to Home Depot to get the same color bulbs on each of them.
Yeah, and I'm not buying 5 packs of that same one.
No, you're buying one light bulb. Yeah.
I'm going to hotels and stealing light bulbs.
Just screwing it out. That's a good idea.
Yeah. They never know. Right, Abby?
They won't.
Okay, you buy a new computer. What are you doing with the old computer?
This question is hard for me because I haven't bought a new computer since 2013. I'm still rocking my 2013 MacBook. But that means maybe this will apply to me soon.
Still going strong, or is it?
I mean, it's loud, and it also doesn't.
It's
the fan is. You might not be able. Actually, you probably can hear it fine.
Yeah. The fan's on, even if it's off.
Yes, I also never turn my computer off. So I'm probably just asking for trouble. But also there are some, I'm in trouble at work because there are some apps that I can't run on my computer anymore, but I refuse to buy a new computer unless they buy one for me.
Good.
But I think the answer to the question is I would use my new computer for like everything, and then I would keep my old computer, unhook it from the internet, and use it to write, so that I couldn't fuck around and I could just only do that one thing on my laptop, my old laptop.
Good answer. I know what I'm doing. I mean, this is relatively new, but that is a great fucking answer. So you can't get distracted.
No distractions. That's just your writing work laptop. No internet. No messages. Nothing.
Wow, that's a good answer. Do you know who Bridget Fonda is?
Bridget Fonda?
Yeah.
Is she the sister of Jane?
She's the niece of Jane.
Look at me. So close.
Close. So close. This is just a fun pulse check we like to do here at Bothering the Band. Bridget Fonda was big in the 90s. She was in Singles. She was in Point of No Return. She was in Single White Female.
Oh, okay.
Brown.
I know who she is. That's a good career.
Yeah. She's had a good. She's married to who's the fucking Nightmare Before Christmas Beetlejuice
Tim
composer?
Burton? Oh no.
Not the music
composer.
guy.
I don't know. That was a little
Boingo.
Yeah.
No, he's fuck. Abby, are you looking it up?
I'm not. You're gonna have to do your own research for a moment.
She's buying Warped Tour tickets.
Good luck. Good luck.
I do my own research when it comes to film composers. It's the same with the vaccine. I'm just kidding. Ellory, burritos or tacos?
Burritos all the way. All the way.
Okay. How do you feel about magnets on the fridge?
Love. You can see my fridge right behind us. And as you can see, it's absolutely covered in stuff.
I love that. And I'm all for it. That's a polarizing thing these days. It's like
Is
chords. It's like if you can see chords, some people like it's either like you and me love it.
Interesting. I feel like it's such a missed opportunity because I'm like, I have so many things in my life that are like semi-meaningful, not meaningful enough to get framed or hang on the wall, but like I want them somewhere. Or even just like shit I need to remember. Like I have like my tax license on my fridge, like wedding invitations, stuff like that. Pictures of friends. My fridge is like really a collage, actually.
Do you collect anything while traveling?
No, but I do like a city magnet, you know? Yeah. Cuz those are also useful cuz you can use it on your fridge to put shit on it that you need to remember, and then it's like it says like Palm Springs or whatever.
It holds your tax forms.
That's exactly what my fridge looks like right now.
Exactly. It's like a little
bunch of
memory.
city magnets holding up bills and photos and postcards and drawings from my nephew.
Yeah. That's exactly what mine looks like.
Oh, this next question is fun. When you came home from middle school, what TV shows did you watch?
So my parents got rid of cable when I was like in the 4th grade maybe, and we didn't get it again until after I'd moved out of the house. So when I was in middle school, we had 4 channels, and the only one that really had shows on it when we came home from school was like the CW, formerly the WB. And Seinfeld was like the only thing it played, basically.
That's not bad.
No, not a bad option at all. Actually, I think now looking back on it, I'm like, low-key, that was really good for me because I only had a few options and I really watched those options.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we
that.
really paid attention to the TV that was on.
Yeah. I feel like the choices when we were younger, I'm a little older than you are, but like you forced to watch things you never would now because there's so many options. Like,
yeah,
I love the Dick Van Dyke Show. Like I loved it as a kid, and no kids like choosing that now. I did it because it was like that or the news, and I was like, I guess this is what I'm watching. You know,
exactly. Those like TV Land cuts.
Yeah, love it.
Or like that
Love it.
was the CW played like nanny reruns for a while, so I saw that. But also there's like a big discussion now about how uh kids, like Gen Z, they have fewer cultural like reservoirs for references because they're not forced to watch things the way that we were forced to watch things. So now everybody can choose like exactly the content that they interact with and nothing else. And so because of that, they like know way less about culture and like, which is funny because it's so much of TV is referencing other TV, and you're missing all of those references or those jokes if you have no idea what they're talking about because you haven't seen, like, there's no monoculture.
Yeah, Hundo P agree. And we talk about this on the pod a lot with music, where it's like, um, we love like 70s,
Which are
60s, 70s
sampled
rock
in
because our
everything.
folks.
It's so
Yeah.
crazy. As soon as you learn like a lot of 70s music, you hear it sampled in everything.
Oh man. Oh
And then
yeah.
that's the crazy part about TikTok is like nanny these kids and they're like, "Oh my god, have you heard this new song called Running Up the Hill?" And I'm like, "Kill yourself." I'm like, "Have I heard that song? That song is older than I am."
Yeah, I'm so happy you're doing this because usually I'm the one ranting on this shit. So go ahead. Oh, this is fun. Have you ever taken the subway in LA?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big public transit person. Um my other day job is I work at a nonprofit that does transit advocacy. So yeah, I've done the subway, I've done the bus, I've done a bike lane. I'm a big walker. I think at least I live in Hollywood. Hollywood is very walkable.
Yeah. You live in also the climate is conducive for it.
Extremely.
Love it. I love that weather out there. Shit. I was gonna ask a follow up with the public transportation. Fuck, I lost it. Anyways, oh, this was it. How many jobs do you have?
Typically two, sometimes I typically land between 2 and 4 jobs. Right now I guess I have 3.
Okay.
That's not including like comedy stuff. Yeah, I mean, shit's expensive. I'm also not good with money. If I was better with money, probably I wouldn't have to work so much, but
It's all those ornaments you're buying.
low key kinda.
It's all those plastic Barbie ornaments you're buying. We know what you're up to. Um,
I like to be busy. You have to have multiple income streams. Also, here's the thing about comedy is like you'll work like I have a good TV writing resume, but you work like 8 weeks and then you're out of work again. It's just so unstable.
yeah, you're talking to two people who have. I have at any given time 5 jobs. Abby has like 3, so we get it.
Yeah.
I actually got to go do some dumb job stuff soon. Okay, this is a fun visual gag for the listeners. Do you like this heart, like this
Or
heart,
this heart.
or this bullshit?
Okay, well, here's the
Do
thing.
that one.
I don't.
Is like that's now out of, I started doing that to keep up with the kids. I need to be like, "Oh, look at me, like I'm cool." And they go, "Oh, that's outdated now." And so now there's a new one and it's this.
Wait, do that again. It's what? Just like fingers crossed?
Well, yeah, but you see the top, it makes like a little heart. It's like it's K-pop style.
Oh, yes, because somebody was doing this to us the
and
other day.
that one too, like that.
This.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck.
Who was doing that? I don't remember. But they were like, look at my little hearts.
I used to think that this was awkward, and now I'm kind of into it.
I can't. My fingers don't.
It took
work
me a
that
long time
way.
to get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I tried to
there
teach
it
my
is.
daughter to do the West Side. She couldn't do this. It was real fun.
She couldn't like. That's funny. You're like, "Hey, here, baby. Here's a gang sign."
Yeah, do this. And I was like, yeah, but you're from New York, so you got to do like East Coast. We were talking about your jobs. Emmy nominated. How the fuck does that work? Because that's pretty badass. I'm just curious.
Thanks. It is pretty badass. I'm very proud of myself. I have 3 Emmy nominations. But low key, it like doesn't really mean anything and there's no money involved. So like all I got out of it is I have 3 plaques on my office wall. But that's good enough for me, you know? Also, it's how you find out is it's just a list published on the internet.
That's crazy. So you got like a certificate, or you like, and you framed. I'm happy.
No, I got two. Here, I'll show you. It's on my office wall. Let's see if I can do it. There, up. There we go. They're like, they send you a little, it's like a diploma style piece of
Oh, cool.
paper. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm also happy you have that framed because I feel like there's some people. I mean, people out there they're like, yeah, and they're like they downplay it, and I'm like, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Well, I'm like, I didn't actually win, and that really fucking sucks. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just go to Michael's. I got a 3-pot. They're also framed horribly. Like I didn't pay to have them framed. I just stuck.
Oh no, she froze.
Yep.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you broke up a little bit.
I know. I think it's because my computer's overheating.
Oh yeah. Well, we're wrapping up. So
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. If bringing up the Emmy nomination, I just think it's super cool.
Thank you. I think it's cool too. It doesn't really mean anything for me career-wise. It didn't bump anything, but it's nice. And also it gives like some legit, because even still my parents are like, what's the deal? When are you getting a job?
Yeah.
So it gives me some legitimacy when I go home for Christmas.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. If you could interview any musician or comedian, we'll throw this out there too. Who would you interview? But it's in the vein of bothering the band, so it's really stupid questions.
I love that. Is it are they alive or dead?
What your choice?
Whatever. Okay, here's the thing. Low key, I hate Bob Dylan.
Okay.
And I would love to interview Bob Dylan and not ask him about his music at all.
I'm on board for this. We're on board for this. And what kind of shitty, weird, dumb question would you ask him?
I would get like so minute and like so boring. It would be like a Nathan Fielder interview for him. Like it would be very, or like, I'm a big Joan Baez fan.
Okay.
And so obviously I've taken her side in the breakup. And so I'd be like, what the fuck were you doing? Like, do you feel bad? Do you think you should be held accountable?
Are you going to see the Chalamet Bob Dylan film?
Absolutely not.
No. Okay.
I don't even think I would hate watch it. I'm like, I just don't. I'm like, stay away from me with that. I don't need it.
That's fair.
I'm also like, here's a real answer. I'm like a big Phil Ox and Pete Seeger fan, and those are people I genuinely would like to talk to and be like, tell me everything.
Yeah, she knows her shit for this like 60s folk movement.
Yeah, I'm on a little beat. Exactly.
I love it.
But now I'm like truly 50 years past the time it was useful for anything.
It's okay. It's that's the next wave of like TikTok kids are going to get into all that.
I really hope not. There was one folk song that became really popular that like was it's Plastic Jesus. Do you know that song?
I think so.
It's really good, but it became popular on TikTok and it killed me to see it everywhere.
Oh.
I was like, I don't know what it is. I should probably be cooler about that, but I was like, you guys don't know what this is about.
Oh. We know what it's about.
Well, they're like using it for commercials or whatever, where they're like, watch my unboxing video with this like really powerful folk song in the back. And I'm like, stop.
Oy vey. It's like capitalism like times 10. Jesus.
Exactly. And I'm like, you guys have a sick relationship to music where it's like, here's the other thing about TikTok. It's all these like 10-second really sped up clips. So it's like Alvin and the Chipmunks singing your favorite songs.
Oh, it's the worst.
It literally gives me schizophrenia. Like listening to it. The kids are in the back seat, like on their phones, and I'm just hearing the sound bites, and I'm like,
and you throw the phones out the window.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
I wish.
What is next for Ellory Smith? Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to,
I'm just chilling in LA. I'm doing a bunch of dates. I'm coming to the East Coast in December. I'll be in Boston December 20th. I'll be in New York probably in January. Yeah, just doing a bunch of stand-up dates. Kind of chilling, doing my thing.
Awesome. everyone listening, just go follow Ellory. It's the jam. It's the best. And
Yeah, please.
ask her about Fast and Furious, old folk music, Funko Pop Hawaiian shirts.
Kinda. That covers my whole world purview at the moment.
Yes. This has been so much fun. I don't want to end, but I gotta go to a dumb work meeting. Abby's got to get Warped Tour tickets. We've taken up.
Abby, I'm
enough.
praying for you. Will you let us
I
know
got
if you
him.
get them?
I just did. We're
that's
good.
awesome. That's
on them?
huge.
We're going to Warped Tour, Ryan.
Yeah. Scott. Oh, there's so much Scott. You should come.
That's
come
the
to
best
Florida.
part. Is they
What's the lineup? Who's going to be at
haven't
Warped Tour this
released
year?
it yet.
You don't even know.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never had that much faith in anything.
She would say, I hope it's like more nostalgia based and, you know, like Less Than Jake and shit like that.
What if it's like Cobra Starship? Yeah.
I'll
Like,
resell 'em.
I feel like
It's
it could
fine.
be. To who?
Okay.
Oh, this has been so fun, guys. I really appreciate this. Is a good time. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll have you back too. Anytime you want to come and promote, we'll gladly have you back. And anytime
Please. And I'm going to read this ska book.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll make a little connection. Thank you so much.